Starting this thrift store video with things I didn't buy that if I was into reselling stuff, I could probably make some money. I know Vera Bradley is expensive, but I don't know if at 30 bucks this would be good to resell. This is something I thought about for a second for RVing, but I chose not to get it. Next thing would have been good to resell because living in Ohio, I don't need it. In the UP, I could have, but a snowblower at a really good price, I could have resold it and made some money, but we'll move on to the stuff I actually did buy. All right, YouTubers. First of all, I apologize for the low lighting. Hopefully I can fix it in the editing. But that carpet means it is thrift store time. And this stuff is actually from before my last trip, so it's been a little bit. So we're going to start out with candles. And again, candles are great. I use them for making my fire starters. Everything was 25% off, so this is 75 cents, and it was marked down from $5. Candles can be expensive. You just put these in a bag and take a hammer to them, and then you melt them down to make fire starters. So I thought that was a good deal. A Rubbermaid container. Opened it up and smelled it. Smells fine. These come in handy. $1.99, which is $1.50. Pretty good deal. This is kind of weird because I already have one, but this is one of those Organics pans. And to be honest, mine's got quite a few scratches in it, but it still works pretty good. I've had it for like a really long time. And this does not work on my induction, but it works on my other small electric thing, and it will obviously work on my propane stove, which I rarely ever use. But I like the pan that I have already like this, so I thought at $4.50, that wasn't a terrible deal. These are 20 bucks new, and it looks pretty new. I pick these up when I see them. They work great as windshields. They also work well if you're cold weather camping or warm weather camping to keep whatever temperature outside you want to do the opposite of inside. And it was 75 cents. Marked down from $2. All right, here's another thing. This is a little electric, I guess you would use it to make tea or whatever. And you plug that in, and then you can heat up water. I figured there would be times I could use this for exactly what it was intended for, or other times I could, like I often do, use it to heat up water for doing dishes. Again, if I got electricity, it's a lot easier and sometimes even quicker. And my sink is so small in the RV that washing outside is a lot easier. And this was 75 cents marked down from $2. So I thought that was a good deal. And anything electric, they have outlets at the thrift store that I go to, and I make sure things work. Here's another cool little thing. These are like hot plate trivets or whatever you want to call them. Silicone, really lightweight, great for RVing. And they were $1.50 on sale day. As I've said before, sometimes I get stuff for friends, and this is like for storing stuff to keep stuff cold. And this is not for me. It's intended for a friend. And on sale day, this was $2.25. All right, this thing I thought was a little tacky in the colors, you know, not really my color scheme. It was $4, which is $3 on sale day. And inside it are two small cushions that you can, if you're going around about place and you want to keep your butt from getting sore, there's some cushions. Quite possibly a gift. I think I've said before, a lot of times things I'm picking up are actually for friends. These are caster wheels, and I have an idea of something to do with this, a little project for actually around the house. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to it because I'm a procrastinator. But at $3, $4, but on sale day, $3. They look brand new, never used, and if I get myself moving, I'll do something I've been thinking of doing for a while. Okay, what the heck is this thing? Well, it was $3.75. We'll start with that. It was not marked down. And as I've said, I have a lot of staging stuff. Before I pack the RV, it kind of depends on what kind of trip I'm making. But I could use this in the RV or at the house. And what this is, hopefully it's in there, is it's a small table. Small folding collapsible table that I thought was a pretty good deal. And there are times where I think that would come in really handy. Looks rarely used. and stacks down pretty small. So I think that was a good purchase. Alright, as I've said in the past, I'm not very organized, and this was an attempt to do this. As I've also said in the past, I have a lot of stuff I take in the RV depending on what trip I'm on. And this will be a helpful way to store stuff that do or don't make it on each trip. These can be expensive, and it was $1.50. So next is going to come a couple weird things. Here we go, weird thing. What is that? Well, it's a bag. It was $6, which is $4.50. See? And let's open it up. I think you can tell it's rope. Actually, like climbing rope. Seems in pretty good shape. This little cable cuff. Those can be worth some money on their own, and you can use them for different things. I don't envision myself doing any Alex Honnold mountain climbing or anything like that. I guess half the time he doesn't need this stuff anyways. But rope can come in handy, and it's expensive. Then I also saw that in there was a pullover harness. I don't expect that I'm going to be climbing up a tree and cutting stuff down, but I figured it might be time for a garage sale, I guess. But actually, I know somebody, I have a relative that is always doing stuff that's pretty stupid, and it's surprising that he hasn't killed himself. But he might actually use something like this because he's got land where he ends up having to get up and trim trees and stuff like that. So, I don't know. But I got it mainly for the rope. So there's the last one. And I know there are some people that follow along with my thrift store stuff. And I was at the thrift store once and saw a 12-volt cooler there, much like the one I have. But the cable wasn't there. So when you buy something there, they give you a coupon for like $5 off the next day if you spend $10 or something. And I never use them. I never go back. But on this day, I went back to see if that cooler was still there, but it was gone. But this one was there. And I was looking for it for a friend, honestly. And then when I showed the friend the pictures of it, I don't think she wanted it. So, well, I know she didn't want it. But I plugged it in and it works. I'm going to show you that in a second. There's a compartment up top where the 12-volt cord is. And let's plug it in. Oh. It was $3 on sale day. Well, again, I can't say it was $3 on sale day. I ended up spending $10. I think that's when I got the rope, to be honest. And so I got $5 off. So we'll say this was $2.50 just to figure out how much I kind of really paid for it. All right, so here's my 12-volt battery pack. I've had this for a few years. I think I shared in a recent video that a lot of it died. I can still charge it and I can still use it as 12-volt, but my inverter stuff here doesn't work anymore after about 5 or 6 years. So it's still useful to me. I can find ways. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to plug it in. You can see the fans going. When I was testing it, there was a converter there that let me test it. I didn't need the converter, so I didn't buy it. But again, they are what they are. But you can feel some cooler air. It's mainly a fan. But everything works. This is the Rode Pro Snack Master. Turn it off. And there's also a warm feature. I don't envision myself using it as a warm feature. And to be honest, I'm not sure this is something I'm going to keep because I already have my 12-volt cooler. But I guess in the long run, what we'll say is this little video, I think, encapsulates the stuff you can find at the thrift store. There's just a wide range of things that you can find there. Okay, that's it for this thrift store trip. Again, I think this was 2 trips actually before my long trip. You know, sometimes I have a real life too of not just RVing and making videos, and even when I'm RVing, I have a life that goes on with it. So sometimes it takes a while for me to catch up. which also means with my limited memory abilities, I don't always remember exactly when stuff happened. But this is probably from a couple months ago, these couple trips. And but I think it just shows there's so many different things that you can find at a thrift store. And as I said before, I'm in Dayton, Ohio, and there's a chain of 3 stores called Valley Thrift Stores. And if I was going to Goodwill, you wouldn't see many thrift store videos because I rarely find deals that I think are that great at Goodwill. But Valley Thrift is pretty darn good. All right, that's it. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. And if you're looking for stuff for your RV or for your house or for your life, a thrift store is always a good option. You inspect stuff well, and a lot of times you're buying nearly new stuff.